that much going into that pile?
I mean, I don't know. I'm with the mafia dude. His sort of mouth goes slack, and he's just like, but, and it's hard to reconcile. I mean, I don't know about you, but I ain't loaded. I want just take like a stack or two. You know, you're gonna want to invest in higher schemes. You know, bigger, more ambitious escapades. Why not take just a little? I don't know what his bank looks like. I don't know what his his savings looks like.
There's a ton of mattresses, and they're all underneath it in another warehouse.
Right. I mean, there's being an agent of chaos, and then there's, investing smartly into the future.
He should have saved enough to just drop a giant custard pie on Gotham in Nolan's universe. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it would completely betray Nolan's vision of a realistic, grounded Gotham, but I would be into that.
Imagine the ending of Dr. Strangelove, but instead of a bomb, it's a giant custard pie and the Joker's riding it.
I think you just wrote like the perfect Joker endgame.
You can steal it. If you're an artist out there and you're listening to this, please draw that picture.
Yeah, I just want to say yesterday was Batman Day, and they announced a new creative team on the comic line. James Tynion IV, James IV, if you're listening to this podcast, please, we implore you, Joker riding a massive custard pie into Gotham. Let's make it happen, please.
So at the end of the day, when you were reading this, I mean, you're a massive Batman fan. So if you listen to the Movies, Films, and Flicks podcast, we've covered Batman Returns, we've covered Batman Forever. Like, what did you, because I don't know, what did you think about this article? Like, did it make sense to you in the end of the day?
No, and that's because it's from you, but I think it was perfect because every other story, right, is postulating how much money it is, and that's just not your brand. So it does make sense, and I think when I read your analyses, the most curious bits for me personally are the points at which you ground your material in logic and fact, and then the points at which you are forced, right, to make these sort of logical leaps and assumptions. So that to me is sort of where the fun is, and it definitely helps that you have sort of picture illustrations to guide my thought process.
I had a lot of fun putting those pictures together.
I can tell. I wouldn't ask you how long you took to make them, but they look like, I'm going to guess 20 minutes.
3 minutes.
Oh, wow. He's flexing.
With this data, though, I just need really simple illustrations to get this stuff across, because this data, and we've talked about it before, not everyone's going to read the data. People are going to skim through this, and they'll probably make some complaints that they'll be like, you're wrong. And I'm like, well, I said that 3 times. They're not going to read that. So when I make these illustrations, I just want people to get a grasp and like see it. But I don't want to make them they don't need to be anything more than what they are, at least to me.
Well, no, you're right. It's more helpful and educational that way if it's just basic outlines. But by the same token of what you mentioned in your story, like, they're not going to fault you for your illustration talent or lack thereof, if you're not trying. So, yeah, it totally makes sense. In an article that has 3 stipulations that says, I'm probably wrong, nobody's going to come after you in the comments for like less than illustrative designs and animations.
Oh, I'll get a lot of those comments about being wrong. The problem is, I remember when I did that 21st Century Horror thing, I got a lot of people angry that The Shining wasn't in there.
So that'll do it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fine. I'm happy to like walk people through it. But at the end of the day, I just love the visuals of henchmen laying out 468,000 stacks of cash so the Joker can slide down it and burn a dude. And then make a few he does this in front of 4 people, probably.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not, he made a massive theatrical show that involved a decent amount of man hours for a very few amount of people.
Yeah, the audience is limited, and I'm actually looking at your article's GIF, and it makes me think of, which one is it? The Donald Duck show where the guy is really old and wealthy. I'm going to get so much shit for this, but what show is it? It's where he dives into the... No, it's not. It's the other one. It's where he dives into his vat of gold coins.
Yeah.
And it made me think of that because cash, it's not as hard as coins, but cash it hurts your butt. I'm watching Heath do this, and he's taking a spill. He probably got a little bit of a bruise on his tush.
Imagine Nolan watching that and his stunt coordinators. Like, Heath, we know your method on this, but dude. Well, this was fun, man. I'm glad that we got to talk about giant custard pies and the Joker riding them, and then a little bit about the article. But if you want to read more, head over to either Reddit, check out my stuff at Lundgren's Front Kick, or go to Movies, Films, and Flicks and check out my article right there. Also, read all my other data articles. They're great.
You
Adam,
really should.
they
Yes.
changed Adam's life. Years ago when he read them, he was on his way to becoming, not what he is now. And when he started reading those, now he's doing great. Right, Adam?
Yeah, I watch a lot more movies now. And I think about a lot more stupid shit now.
Well, I apologize for that, but thank you for joining this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, as always.
All right, so for Mark Hoffmeyer and for Adam Clement, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks Data. We'll see you next week.